This video here is to show you how to import your layers into the CAD program. To do this, we go to a brand new drawing and you're going to go straight to layers properties. It's the icon right here, large icon, and this window should appear. The default is always going to be 0, so this layer is always going to be there regardless. You cannot delete it. It stays, you know, as a part of the drawing. So what I do is with this is we're gonna lock this layer. We're gonna also change the transparency to 90. Press OK, and then lastly we're gonna turn the printer option off. The color, we're gonna change that to magenta, or the number 6 color. Hit OK. This right here, I put 3 things in place, well actually 4 things in place to make sure that you're not drawing on the default layer. One is the layer's locked, so you can't draw on a locked layer. 2, the color's magenta, so again if you draw with the magenta color, you know that you're on the default layer. Next is the transparency. If the line looks faded, you know that you're on the default layer. And then lastly, when it's time for you to print, the printer will not pick up this particular layer, so when you print your drawing and you do not see it, it's because it's possibly on the 0 layer. So we have those 4 things in place to make sure that you're not on the default layer. Now, to add new layers, the icon is here, or you can do Alt and N to create new layers, but I'm going to click this icon here, and you have the first layer, layer number 1, and we're going to call that construction. This layer will be for our construction lines as we draw pictures, and if we need to, create additional lines to help us build the shape, this is the layer you'll use. Now, for this, we're going to unlock it. We're going to change the color to a gray. So right here in the middle, there's a dark gray color there. We're going to click that. The line type, we'll keep it continuous. The line weight will be default. The transparency, though, we're going to change the transparency from a 90 to about a 40. Now, it's a possibility you may have to go back and make a change if you have difficulty seeing this particular line. Lastly, you're going to keep the printer option where it does not print. We do not want construction lines to be printed. Let's do our next layer. The next layer will be called object. This is the line, this is the layer that we'll be using to draw all of the picture with. Okay, so all the visible lines will be using this. Now the color is definitely going to be white, so we're going to choose the number 7 color here and hit OK. The line type is still going to be continuous. However, the line weight, we're going to give it a little bit of thickness. So down here, we're going to change the line weight to this 0.60. When it comes to the transparency, we're going to make it where this thing is not transparent at all. So we're going to change it to 0. And finally, we're going to make sure that this is a printable layer. So we're going to make sure the icon is set for printing. We'll go back to our new layer again. Our next layer will be hidden. The hidden line should be, again, an unlocked layer. For the hidden line, we're going to change the color, though. We're going to use red for the hidden line. The line type will not be continuous anymore. It's going to be actually hidden. So we're going to click on that. We're going to go to load, and we're going to load the hidden line, which will be the standard hidden, and hit OK. We're going to select it again and hit OK. The line weight for the hidden line will be back at the default. So we'll go back to default with that one. The transparency will stay 0, and it should be a printable layer. We go back to the new layer icon, and this time we're going to choose center. This will be for all our center lines to represent symmetry. The color for this would be, we'll choose the green. Hit OK. The line type will not be hidden. The line type will actually be center. So we'll go through the list and find center. Hit OK. Choose center again. Hit OK. The line weight will stay default. The transparency will stay 0, and then again this will be a printable layer. Let's do another layer here. We'll call this next one dimensions. Dimensions are for when it's time to annotate your drawing. We'll be able to put several dimensions around the shape to describe the size and the position of all the objects in your drawing. The color, though, we're going to make the dimension color be white, just like our drawing. The line type will not be center, though. It'll be continuous. Hit OK. The line weight will be default. The transparency will be 0. This will be also a printable layer. We go back to the new layer icon again. Our next one will be text. So this is for any writing that you may do on the program. Now the text will remain white as well. It'll be continuous. It'll be default. Transparency will be 0, and this will be also a printable layer. Next layer will be considered the viewport. Viewport is when it's time to print. Alright, so for the viewport, the color can remain white. The line type continuous. The line weight will be default, but this will not be a printable layer. Alright, so the viewport will not be a printable object. We'll do one more layer, and we're going to call this X reference, which stands for external reference. Sometimes we may import a drawing into the program, and we need an external reference layer for that import file. The external reference can be still white, continuous, default, and be transparent. However, this will not be a printable layer. At this time, your layers are all created. To save these layers, you will go to the icon here where it says Layer States Manager. You click on it. You will go to New, and you will create a name for these layers. I'm going to call it Standard Layers. The description, I'll just say education use only. Now, at this time, you will go to Export, and you will save your layers on your flash drive or on your desktop or your My Documents. I'm going to save it on my desktop. And you notice it says standard. Again, that's what we named it. And then it says layer states for the type. And I hit OK. So at this time, your layers have been saved. Lastly, we're going to hit this save button as well. And it's going to ask you, do you want to overwrite the standard? You can say yes, and it's saved again. Alright, so this time we can close out this box, and we can actually close out our layers. To access our layers, we can go here, and we have the list available for us to draw. Also in this list, we can turn layers off by hitting the light bulb. We can lock the layers if necessary, and we can also freeze them with the sun. Okay. When you're switching from layers to layers, it's important that you click the name. Please do not click the box or any of the other icons, because it will go into another setting where you can actually change colors. So if we click the box, it'll be wanting you to change the color, as you see here. Again, if you click the light bulb, it'll turn the layer off. Okay, so it's important that you click on the name of the layer as you are drawing your picture. Now, I want to demonstrate on how to import your layers. So I'm going to start a new drawing. From here, I'm going to go to my layers properties. And again, you can see I have nothing here. I will go to the layer state manager. I'm going to import. From there, I need to change my file type from a drawing to layers. And as you can see, my standard layer is right there. I'll select the open. It's going to give you this error message, which is saying that it cannot restore the line types. That is true. Every time you start a new drawing, the line types have to be always loaded. Then you get this other message that says that it's been successfully imported. So you will go in here to restore, and as you can see, all your layers are here. The only thing that's missing will be your line types. This will be a task you will have to do every time. So you'll click on the line type, you'll go to load, and you will load both line types. So I'll choose center for the first one, I'm going to choose hidden for the second, and again, uh, I'm using hidden for this one, and I'm going back to my center option and choosing center for that. Okay, and that's how you will load your layers from scratch.